Hey, we're here.
Ooh, good evening, everybody. I'm Laura Jane. This is Terry, and welcome to
Hello.
Equilibrium Collective. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're doing a bit of a what's the word subject. What we're doing today is a bit
The look. We're having a
yeah.
nose.
We're doing it about the black eyed
The
children,
black-eyed children.
and
So
so yeah, it's a bit of a hit and miss with this one. So it's going to be good.
it is going to be good. We've done a lot of research into this. Mainly because we knew about the American side of things, but weren't so in touch with the English side of things. And there are quite a few stories here in the UK about the black-eyed children, but they're
Yeah,
very different to the ones that are in America. So if you don't know what the black-eyed children are, they're something that sort of appeared, I think it was around the 1980s, um, over in the States, maybe late 70s, early 80s. And it's kind of a folklore, a myth that um, that they have, and in America, they're black-eyed children. If you get a knock at night time, they come at night, and there's a long knock at the door. And when the people open the door, there's these two perfectly looking, pale looking children um, who are asking to come in. And apparently, they're very persuasive. People can feel themselves doing what they're being told to do, even though they don't want to do it. And it's either on their door or on their car. It's happened at some people's cars. They feel the urge to lower the window or open the door when they don't really want to do it. And it's these black-eyed children, and suddenly their eyes go black. And if you invite them into the house, or the car even, all sorts of unpleasant, creepy things tend to happen. There's quite a few stories over in the States. Now, here in the UK, it is a bit different because our black-eyed children come out during the daytime. And they don't approach you or ask for anything. They just stand around looking really, really creepy, as children with black eyes would do.
yep. That'll definitely
Now,
creep me out.
me personally, I'm going to be talking about the Cannock Chase black-eyed children personally, because Cannock Chase, I used to live very close to Cannock Chase, and it's somewhere that I spent quite a lot of my childhood. And I had a lot of very creepy, weird things happen to me in my childhood, but I never felt any of that from Cannock Chase. And on Cannock Chase, the black-eyed children have actually been linked to UFOs and alien encounters rather than
Yes.
paranormal and ghosts. They've been linked to actual physical beings rather than ghosts. So that's the sort of the difference between the US and the UK one. Whether there's any connection or not, who knows?
Yeah.
Very
I mean, yeah.
strange.
It's completely different to what we got here in the UK to what they have in the USA. I mean, they
Yeah.
even say about the Men in Black in the USA that came and
What, Will
took
Smith?
these two children away with black eyes, and they're here to protect us. And I'm just like, wow. But
Well,
yeah,
I
it's
mean,
interesting about the one in England, like you said
yeah,
about being linked to UFOs, and these children are not actual children but aliens.
yeah.
Interesting theory.
I think before we go any further with the conversation, we do have to kind of address that big elephant in the room,
Yeah,
which is, of course, what happened with the Fantastic Daily websites. If people aren't aware of this, this was a website that was out in 2017, I think, 2017, 18.
I believe it was 2017. Yeah,
Yeah. And this chap is a filmmaker. He makes films, and he decided that after doing a few other things, that the popularity of the black-eyed children was something he wanted to tap into. He invented a story and he filmed a story about a couple of black-eyed children getting arrested in Manchester. And he posted this, and it got so much attention that he thought, aha, I'm going to make an entire series out of this. And he invented the story. He had a whole storyline that he was going to film with the black-eyed children, him coaxing the black-eyed children to his house and them trying to get in and then keep coming back and him fearing for his life. And this whole storyline that he invented, which is fine. But unfortunately, he build it, or well, he didn't bill it, but he didn't make it clear that it wasn't real. And the way that he portrayed it was very much factual.
Yeah.
Um, so, shall we play that video now just to get that over and done with?
Yes. Yeah, we'll play it now.
So this is a video that somebody else has done. This is called "The Rise and Fall of the Fantastic Daily," and it was basically a fake top 10 YouTube channel. Let me just get this set up properly because for some reason it's lost the place that I wanted it to start in, obviously, even though I set it all up prepared, and now there's adverts and all sorts. So talk amongst yourselves. I had it all set up and
Nice
ready to
cup
go.
of coffee.
Nice cup of coffee, talking about the black-eyed children. Always the way, isn't it? I don't know.
Yes.
Have you been to Cannock Chase?
No, I haven't. I haven't been anywhere. I've always been round Essex, to be fair.
Really? Okay. Well, I mean, Cannock Chase is a beautiful place. It is. It's just an open, lovely walking area. And where's this starting from? Okay, now I can't find it. Here we go. Found it. But I wouldn't want to go around there at night because it does get kind of creepy. It has been known for lots of lights and UFO activities and lots of strange things like that. So I can well imagine that if you are walking around there at dusk or something, then yeah, it could be something that would be pretty creepy. But anyway, this is the guy. This is the guy that made it all up. And has very much muddied the waters, I think.
I mean, yeah, I mean, after this, obviously, we'll go into the Cannock, what's it called? Cannock Chase.
Cannock Chase.
See, I'm terrible. I can't say words.
I like the name Cannock Chase better, to be fair.
For the Cannock. But we'll talk. Oh, I'm useless. Absolutely useless. But yeah, we'll divulge into that after you've watched this video, which is extremely interesting. So yeah, grab a coffee and then we can find out about this guy and basically scamming people like the Serious Paranormal.
Yeah, we'll just get this one out of the way because this particular guy has managed to very, very, very much muddy the waters with regards to the black-eyed children. He invented stories to do with the black-eyed children, but he did not invent the black-eyed children. They were a long time before he arrived, and I just want to make that clear before we carry on.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I lived in Los Angeles at the time, in like right at the beach in Santa Monica, and there's just apartments all over. And we had a friend who lived up in the mountains, and so we would go to their house to shoot it. And this was in the middle of nowhere. It was a very location. So we considered that like a quote unquote shooting location.
The man you're hearing is someone who went by the names Muto Made here on YouTube.
Are we able to turn it up?
The clip you're hearing is from an interview
I can
last year discussing the controversy of his YouTube channel, Fantastic Daily. A channel that no longer exists if you search it up, but we'll get to the reason why soon enough. To put it simply, Muto was a filmmaker. He had an old YouTube channel, Muto Made, which consisted of all his past projects, including several different web series, collaborations with other creators, along with a feature film placed as the channel trailer. Muto's first spike in popularity came after the YouTuber Nightmind covered his sleepwalking show, sending a good chunk of his fanbase Muto's way. This encouraged Muto to dive deep into other content Nightmind was covering at the time, which consisted of web series that blended fiction and reality together, otherwise known as unfiction or alternate reality games. This was a whole other level of immersion that Muto hadn't seen before. He didn't just love this idea, he wanted to create something just like it.
But then I started realizing that YouTube wanted something that I wasn't giving it, which is something more realistic. That it doesn't want like narrative web series stuff with title sequences and producer credits and stuff. It wants something that it thinks is real-ish. And I started thinking about, what type of channel does that? And I thought there are these shitty list channels, these like, like the 10 best, UFO video nonsense. And I was like, that's what I could do. That's the modern found footage backbone.
In 2017, the first batch of Fantastic Daily videos were created. It was set up exactly like your typical clickbaity YouTube channel, red circles and arrows in almost every thumbnail, enticing viewers into clicking onto the video, taking in all the new information about mysterious creatures found under the sea or found in abandoned buildings. The only difference between him and other list channels was that every single thing he mentioned within his videos were completely fabricated by himself.
Right? You got a channel like that.
Makes me
and you just
angry.
amass all this stuff. But what if?
Yeah.
What if I just make all that shit? What if I just fake it? Like, why the fuck do I have to go like steal people's UFO videos from Paraguay? Right? I'll just make them. What the fuck? I'll just make them. And I was like, well, so what do I call them? I need to call something really broad because I don't know what this is going to be yet. I was like, so I got to call it something broad. So I'm going to call it Fantastic Daily.
And apart from one or two comments, most people watching were none the wiser that this was completely fabricated. After a good backlog of fictional top 10 lists were created, he decided to go further by incorporating his own story for the channel, one revolving around a paranormal entity commonly known as the Black-Eyed Kids.
And I made something about this Black-Eyed Kids story. And to this day, this is great. I made a video
He's laughing.
that purported to have two
Yeah.
Black-Eyed Kids getting arrested in Manchester, in England. And they, and then in the jail, they disappeared.
Oh,
The same
random
quality
adverts.
you expect is now
Of course, it's
Love
random
'em.
adverts. I can't believe how he's laughing over it. Like, he's so proud of himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's not funny because you're duping a lot of people. Yeah.
And to this day, if you search like Black-Eyed Kid Manchester, like auto-completes, and it got huge, and people still send me notes saying like, I heard two Black-Eyed Kids got arrested in Manchester. You should look into that. And no one knows I faked that story. And when I saw that story get really big, that one video get really, really big, and get like hundreds of thousands of views, I was like, I need to make more Black-Eyed Kid videos. So I started thinking, how do I make this into something I'm used to making, like a horror movie? And so I basically started to formulate, and this is all, I'm making this sound like this was very specific. It was very freeform. Of like, maybe I should make a video that feels kind of like a found footage movie, and then maybe I'll extrapolate off of that one, and I wasn't quite sure how it was going to work. So I made a video about, like, this really gobbledygook science of how I made it. And I played it.
I remember
that. And I played it outside of my house for a week with a camera. And then one day, after 5 days of doing this, 5 days later, a Black-Eyed Kid shows up to my front porch, and I got it on camera.
Many people took interest in this. The videos were short and straight to the point. According to these videos, he managed to get in contact with real black-eyed children, but now that he's reached out, they won't leave him alone. He decided to make update videos, posting wacky inventions of him trying to monitor these black-eyed kids. It was all incredibly entertaining at the time, but there was one slight problem. The audience that was tuning in were 100% convinced the videos were real. Now, upon that sentence, you may be thinking Fantastic Daily was attracting young kids who couldn't understand the difference between what was real and fake. But that wasn't true at all. These were fully grown adults, estimated to be between 30 to 50 years old, all completely convinced that this man was experiencing hauntings from black-eyed children. Why were there so many adults believing this story? Because Fantastic Daily was promoting this story to the paranormal community.
A lot of people thought that this was real because, like I said before, like I infiltrated the paranormal community by doing this. Because my thought was, if I'm going to tell a story in a new space, I can't go to the ARG community. They're not going to buy this. They're not going to enjoy it. It's just going to be nonsense. I need to go to a community that isn't expecting to hear a story, so that they can be shocked about the story, right? And I thought, that's fun. It's like it's like putting up like a carnival tent in a new town. They're not expecting to see a lion jump through a hoop or anything like that. It's like, you guys have never seen this before. I'm not going to put on a circus in a place where there are other circuses.
Upon his research, he managed to find out certain journalists in the industry would happily share his work without a care in the world on whether or not the information provided was fake.
One of the things here was that, like, to make this feel hyper realistic, I wanted to rope in the actual viewers and the community at large. So I would proactively, plant my videos and my story using a lot of puppet accounts all over the internet. I figured out that certain journalists were weak in the British tabloid space. There's this one guy in particular, John Austin, who constantly posts Secure Team 10 videos, and so I thought this journalist has got to be weak because he's just going for views. So I used one of my puppet.
He sounds so proud of himself, doesn't he? That what he's doing.
The guy, I just want to smack him upside the head.
He ran an entire story on my black-eyed kid experiment and how I had attracted
so smug.
I got thousands and thousands of subs based on that one article, and maybe hundreds of thousands of views based on that article. And so more and more of the quote-unquote paranormal community was showing up to my videos. And some of these people are kind of like pseudo-scientific, the same kind of people that believe like essential oils are going to cure cancer. These types would show up, and they eventually have their own YouTube channels, and they would make videos about how I could protect myself against black-eyed kids.
After a few months of success, many viewers became increasingly invested in Fantastic Daily's story. Perhaps a little too invested.
People, sure enough, they were like volunteering to come to the house with shotguns and and help defend my family and this and that, and it got kind of tense. And so I started to see in comments that people had figured out where this house was. So I had to go back into the videos and like blur all the
bless him.
blur tool and all that. And
Good job.
I thought I'd done and then I discovered that I hadn't.
Sure.
One user in particular became really invested in the story.
People were selling like audio signals that would counteract my audio signal, right? Like it was very, very crazy. And instead of just ignoring it, I built the story. I used that stuff. I would contact these people, be like, hey, can I use your video? I would love to share this. And so I would bring these people into the story without them knowing it's a story, because they were just happy to contribute. They just thought, they were making videos about a monster attack, and this was their best guess on how to defend against it. I was like, I'm happy to use that if you allow me. And they allowed me, and so I used some of this. So there's one particular guy who sees himself as a scientist, even though I think that's debatable. And he was promoting different ways of using the technology. He's very into audio signals, using his technology to fight back against these creatures. And I made a series of videos using his techniques to a certain degree. And he was getting really, really into this series, really into it. And there was one point where he wasn't happy with my ability to use his techniques. He thought his technique was better than I was portraying it to be. And he started digging to discover my business license in California. And he discovered my real name, and that I was an actor, and that I was a filmmaker, and then made a website that had all of that information: my home, home address,
high five that
personal name, my business license, everything, and made a website on his website, and posted links on all of my videos. And I was like, oh no.
Oh, so he doxed you?
He doxed me.
I'm going to turn the volume off for the advert. So, yeah, that's where... I don't even have...
Oh, if I'm muted. Oh, it was like a nice bit of chicken and pork.
I know, very, very hungry making. He's very smug.
Do you know, it's infuriating the way he's going on about you know, I didn't let them know I used, you know, I wanted to use their stuff, and you know, they didn't need to know it was a story. Like, he openly admitted that he's using them.
And then at the end, he tries to cover his arm.
Personal information now being spread everywhere. He immediately tried to get in contact with him.
Oof.
And so I contacted him privately. I was like, hey, dude, we got to talk. He didn't want to talk initially. And I was like, listen, you just put me in a really precarious position. And I'm going to do everything in my power to fight back against this. You want to get on this call. And so he got on the call, and I explained to him, I was like, listen, you put my personal home address on your website. And he also had
Listen, I'm actually.
published secretly on his website a series
I'm
of
gonna
emails that he had with another viewer.
I'm going to stop that there, because the rest of this is just him trying to justify himself about what he did, and how he went about it. And he is just as smug during the whole of that as he is during the whole of that previous thing. And it just makes me kind of get annoyed.
Yeah, it is annoying because he duped so many people, and then he's like shocked. He's like, I don't know why everyone's so mad at me. It was just a movie. He's like, it's like the Blair Witch Project. I'm like, well, no, because people knew that was a movie. He's like, yeah, but what I did, you didn't have to go to the cinema and pay for it. You got this for free. But I was like, duped him into thinking it was real. And you know what's more annoying is that people in the paranormal field, like ourselves and that, it makes a mockery of what we do, basically, what he's done.
It makes our job harder.
He does, because then we're having to prove it more.
Yes, because there's muppets like him who think it's just a bit of a laugh, just doing it for his ego to prove a point. But I mean, if anyone wants to watch the rest of that, it's freely available on YouTube. It's called The Rise and Fall of Fantastic Daily, and you can find that on YouTube, and you can watch it. There's about another 10-15 minutes odd of that, of him then trying to justify himself for being
don't know why they're so mad. Don't know why.
I can't understand it. I didn't mean to dupe anybody. Apart from that, I just said about 14 times that was what I was doing.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's why he's like, no. Yeah, we could go on about that all bloody day.
His story about the black-eyed children getting arrested in Manchester, and the ones that were in his house, they were absolutely 100% fake.
Yeah.
But the black-eyed children, the folklore, the myth, the stories of the black-eyed children that come over from the States, that have been all over Europe, were around a long time before he was.
So this man, he did not invent the black-eyed children. He did not do that. He just made a story on it to better gain popularity, but obviously it backfired massively. Shock horror, why it did. But yeah, so you know, it's up to you guys what you believe. Is the black-eyed children real? Are they not? Obviously, I'm unbiased in this. Bit like a what do you call them? Do you know, my brain's gone dead today. I can't think of stuff. Yeah. I mean, if anyone has any questions as well about this, we're happy to talk about it.
I mean, I can see in the comments everyone getting very, very annoyed at this chap here. He needs his tongue cut out and his cameras.
Yes, he does. And you know, the worst part is further on down the line, he said about, obviously, we're doing the story, and I didn't get to finish it. He's going to talk about my wife having twins. And he was going to kill one of the twins off, one of his babies. I was going to kill him off because he goes, you need that arc of a character of such a massive loss that you need.
Luke Skywalker, and oh my god, yeah, no.
I know. Honestly, watch the whole thing, because obviously we just gave you a little bit of it, but I'm just sitting there like, what? I'm not going to say it live because we're live, but what a.
You're such American. Simon's asking, was the first case in Texas or in Stafford? I believe the first cases were in America.
Yeah,
I believe
in the 1980s, I believe, wasn't it?
1980 was the one in Cannock Chase, but the one in America was before that. I think. To be honest, because of my connection with Cannock Chase, I've been really focusing on the Cannock Chase sightings of it. I love Cannock Chase. I spent a lot of my youth and childhood on Cannock Chase, and I was going
Not
to head
Canuck.
in Cannock Chase. Yes.
Go to Canuck Chase, as I say it.
Chase. I was gonna head down there. We're about an hour away. I was gonna head down there and do some shots specifically for this show, but my car decided it didn't want to play. But those of you that know me know I'm a great big wuss. So the fact that I'm willing to go somewhere where things have been purported to be will tell you how much I believe that those things are there.
Yeah.
Which means I don't. Because if there's black-eyed children there, I'm not going there. That's just silliness.
I am running. Well, as fast as me bad legs are at the minute. Yeah, I'll be hobbling.
Cannock Chase is all hills as well. You don't be running around there.
Oh God! Well, as long as it's going down, I'll just roll into a ball and just roll down.
Canon Laura.
Oh God, a cannonball.
A possible case in the 1970s in France. Yeah, I do believe there's sightings all over the place, all over Europe.
Yeah, there are.
Maybe.
Amazing.
A bit. I mean, there was a journalist who was very into all the black-eyed children thing. He had something to do with the original 1980 investigation, and then when I think it was in 2012 or 2014. Sorry, 2014. More sightings of the black-eyed children suddenly appeared. But it was at the same time as lots of UFO sightings happened over Cannock Chase and strange lights and things. And this guy, Lee Brickley, that's the one. Thanks, Simon. He went and investigated. I've got an interview that he did with another paranormal group back in the day. I have reached out to Lee Brickley on a couple of occasions to see if he wanted to be part of this, but he never replied. And I think, unless I've got my Lee Brickley's very mixed up, he has now stepped away from the whole paranormal everything and is attempting a music career. I'll say no more on that. But do you want to meet Lee Brickley? Let's.
What?
Do you want to meet Lee Brickley? Let me see if I can share this with you.
Oh yes. I'd love to have been able to interview him, but just to get his take on it.
It would have been interesting because if you see the end of this interview, he says something, and I have searched and searched and searched and searched for what he's talking about at the end of this interview, and I cannot find it anywhere. So I would love to have a conversation with him to find out what it was that was going to happen. Well, I'll let you see. I won't give away the ending. It's only a few minutes.
Oh yeah,
guys.
it'd help if I put it up, wouldn't it? I'm just staring blankly.
And it does help when I hit play. And it works. Come on, YouTube, you can do it. There we go.
So I'm here with a
here we go.
paranormal investigator, and we're trying to get the truth of these black-eyed children. What can you tell us today?
Well, as far as we know, this is a single entity that's been appearing on Cannock Chase since the early 1980s. It takes the form of a small girl, no older than 12, and she's been terrifying local residents over the past couple of months due to a wave of new sightings.
So then, you say 1980s is when this has been recorded. Is that the earliest date?
Yes, it's just over 30 years ago the first recorded report, and although there were a number of sightings up there, things like December 2012, in fact, was the first time I received a new report from a member of the public. And interestingly, it was in fact the 21st of December 2012, which
If anybody's into doomsday prophecies, they'll know because they're all important data.
What are your theories on the origin of these disturbing sightings?
Well, up until yesterday, I would have told you that I believe the black-eyed child to be some sort of ghost or demon. However, last night I received a sighting report from a local lady that blew my mind and effectively blew this case wide open. Now, I can't go into too many details about that at the moment because it's still early days. All I'm saying is don't believe everything you're reading in the newspapers and don't believe the things psychics are telling you on TV, because the truth about the black-eyed children of Cannock Chase could be more terrifying than even they imagine.
Dun dun dun.
Would you say it's still safe for visitors to come and enjoy the chase?
Well, as far as we know, there have been no sightings where the black-eyed child directly caused harm to anyone. However, there have been a few reports that suggest it could be trying to lead people into dangerous situations, and for that reason,
If you see them, tuck and roll.
keep your wits about them, keep your eyes open, and remain calm if you see the black-eyed child. Whatever you do, do not chase after it.
Certainly.
Why would you chase after
it? Been a rise in UFO sightings.
Not today, Satan. Not
Wait,
today.
listen.
Myself over the past 2 weeks of strange beams of light coming down from the sky into Cannock Chase, and these are from separate individuals. But I would say that from the evidence I've seen last night and again today from this lady with the new report, that the lights in the sky, UFO sightings, whatever they are, and the black-eyed child of Cannock Chase could be linked. But it's a bit too early to go into too many details about that. I should be able to reveal a little bit more in about 3 weeks' time.
What's going to happen in 3 weeks?
I don't know. I think it could be something big.
Jeez.
Could be something big.
You know, I just got the X-Files.
Anyway, that's enough of that. It's just dodgy filming of Cannock Chase after that. But yes, so that was filmed in 2014, and 3 weeks after that was filmed, something big was supposed to happen, and all that seems to have happened is that Lee Brickley changed his career. I don't know.
We will never know.
I have had a good look, and I cannot find any more information about that at all. What he found, what this woman had reported, what the links were between the lights and the black-eyed children, nothing. But it would be curious that if in a few years' time, so 30 years on from 2014, more sightings of the black-eyed, I keep wanting to say black-eyed peas, black-eyed children.
No, I've tried not to say that a few times. Nope.
Do come up. So, it could be a 30-year thing, maybe.
I mean, who knows? It's interesting his way of thinking about, because obviously they're saying, don't say Cannock, it's not Cannock. How do you say it? Cannock. Oh, terrible. Cannock Chase, that the
You
UFO.
can call it Cannock.
Yeah, today. But yeah, but I keep trying to say Cannock. I'm like, no, Cannock Chase. But yeah, it's amazing about the UFO sightings, and so I didn't know that you had UFO sightings there and all that, and he's saying that there's a connection maybe between them and the black-eyed children, that maybe they're not paranormal, it's they're aliens.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is it's all secondhand experience. If you go on to any of these YouTube things, like in this one with the black-eyed children with this guy, if you go on to the conversations, the messages, the comments, you get comments there for people. Like, so 6 years ago, Someone called God's Straight Shooter 02 has posted the comment, I had a week-long encounter with black-eyed kids. Been posting about it online for a few years now. Still haven't shaken the encounter. I witnessed many strange things in that amount of time. The way they move, the way they talk, the way they change their eyes from being normal-looking 1 minute to completely black the next. The guardian that they have with them as their protector, which from the look of it was a jinn or a demonic entity. What happened to me on the last encounter with them was enough for me to move from home and not go back. That was 3 years ago, and I'm still in hiding. The only advice I can give anyone who hears a long knocking on the door, and if you look out and see kids, don't open it. Get out of the room, get a gun, and if they go away, be ready for them to come back and try again. Be watchful and be ready to move fast. Prolonged exposure to them will mess you up physically and mentally. Peace. Now, I've got to assume this guy is an American, just purely
Yeah.
from the get out of the room, get a gun.
Well, yeah, not only that, because they're saying the ones in America actually come to your door, where it's different here in England because they're out, you see them during the day, at night time, and in America it's just purely at night time you see these kids.
Yeah. I mean, in the comments of this, there's lots of people. There's another one here. Boyd Townsend says, my dad was always very skeptical, a very practical, skeptical man. Unfortunately, he passed away last Thanksgiving. He once told me how he encountered what he called a teenage boy without any eyes. He was sitting in the living room watching TV when this boy entered the room, stared at him for about 30 seconds, and then left through the front door. My parents live in a small town in Ohio, and my mum would leave the kitchen door open while she went out running errands. So maybe that's why this thing felt he had permission to enter. My dad specifically said it came in through the kitchen and into the living room. He also said he was never so scared in his life than when he looked at this creature. He had a Purple Heart from combat, so it wasn't like he frightened easily. This took place on a warm, sunny afternoon in 2002. I tried to speak with him about this incident several times throughout the years, and he always said he didn't want to talk about it. My dad never suffered from dementia or mental illness, and this was the only weird, scary story he ever told me. So I obviously believe him, and he had nothing to gain from making it up. So, yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, yeah, it could just be kids.
I mean, like I said, you've got ways of doing it where you've got contact lenses you could put in. I mean, there's ways of doing it to like scare and mess with people.
A lot of these black-eyed children have their hoodies up.
Hoods,
So, I mean, dark, the hoods in certain light could make your eyes look dark. And, you know, kids can be quite scary when they want to be. Don't tell them, though. Don't give them that power. But, you know, they can be.
Beat you to it, Simon. Already said the contact lenses. But yeah, that's like another way. And like they say in, I don't know if it's here or America, I might have got it mixed up. They said, like in the winter times, they're wearing like old fashioned ragged clothes and they'll have no shoes on, and it's like winter and they just walk like roaming around. It's just weird. Like, I don't know how to.
There is another school of thought that says that they are actually children that have been kidnapped and kept by madmen in like cellars and stuff, and that have escaped. But I'm like, well, okay, but I mean, how many times does that happen in a small area? I mean, is rural Ohio known for lots of random people kidnapping children and keeping them in cellars and then letting them escape in the wintertime?
Yeah.
And if it is, I don't ever want to go there.
No. I've got a thing about cellars.
I've got a thing about creepy black-eyed children in cellars.
I'll get a stick and beat with it. Get away! But I said, the one at Cannock Chase, that has a really sad story to it as well about the murders that went down there. It was horrible to read about.
In the mid to late 60s, there were several young girls that went missing in the area, and their bodies were discovered in a mass grave, and a guy was arrested for it. And they think that there's a lot more that he never he never divulged. He was a serial killer in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's not the only. There is a couple more in the area as well. With the area, Cannock Chase is huge. It's a massive protected area. Where there's woods, there's rolling hills, there's ferns that grow higher than you. You know, it's like a homing beacon for all the nut jobs who want to bury bodies.
Yeah.
So there's probably quite a few there. Craig on Dawn River says, Ohio is something to yawn at. Been there, done that, and it's boring.
Take your word for it.
Maybe that's how they pass their time then, kidnapping
Well, the
children.
only time I've been to America is Disneyland, and that was it. Oh no, I went to Sanibel Island as well. That was amazing. But that's only 2 places I've been in America.
New York and Virginia, the only places I've been.
Do you know my dream place to go is oh god, you know where the voodoo and
What,
I don't know
Louisiana?
what's wrong with my brain now. Oh, what's it called?
Louisiana.
That's it, Louisiana.
I'd love to go there.
But I'd love to go there to do like the voodoo, but I've gone completely off topic now. Back to the Black Eyed Children.
Different topic. I mean, yeah, a lot of people are. I'm just reading some of the notes that I made. Some that people say the Black Eyed Children are aliens trying to reach out to Earth. And demonologists believe they're children of the devil himself. If you let them in, you're allowing the devil to enter in your life, and that's why they want to try and get into your home. I mean, all the stories kind of follow that same. Apart from the ones here in the UK, the ones in America and elsewhere in Europe, actually, it's only really the ones here in the UK where they're in the daytime, so it could be a completely different thing. They do follow that similar pattern, that the completely black-eyed children, they appear at your home or your vehicle, they knock on the door, they insist on getting inside. And people who experience them almost immediately get this like overwhelming sense of dread.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know whether that's just because it's not normal to eyes are really important to the human psyche.
Yeah.
When you look at the face, it's the eyes that you take in more. They are expressive. They are the windows to the soul. All the rest of it. If you see any image where the eyes are scrubbed out, it does affect you on a psychological level. So
yeah.
Where you've got children with completely blacked out eyes, I mean, anything with completely blacked out eyes, you know, like a China doll, if you black out the eyes, looks creepy.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I used to have nightmares. My mum used to make porcelain dolls when I was young, like a kid, and they used to freak me out. Porcelain dolls everywhere, and they just look at you, and you're like, ooh.
No, I don't like that.
No.
But I mean, I can't find the original story. I can't find the original Black Eyed Kid story. I can't find the first one.
No, I did try looking for it to no avail.
I don't know whether it could be something that was born out of, you know, the film that was out. They remade it sort of in the mid-90s, but it was originally released sometimes like the early 60s. Village of the Damned. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
The remake had a Superman in it, whatever he's
yes, thingy.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. So I mean, that's a very similar-ish story, and it's based on a book that was written in like 1956 or something like that, by Wyndham, called something the Midwich Cuckoos. And it if you've not read the book or seen either of the movies, it's basically a village that everyone passes out for half an hour, and they all wake up, and 2 months down the line they discover that every female of breeding age is pregnant. So I think it's like something like 66 of them, or so, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And they all give birth at exactly the same time to these golden-eyed children, I believe. They weren't black-eyed, whether they were golden-eyed.
I can't. It was so long ago I watched Village of the Damned. It was like white eyes, weren't they?
Oh, I can't remember. They were creepy, weird-eyed children.
Yeah, they had like white, yellowy hair and white. I'm sure they were white eyes or blue eyes. I can't remember.
And they shared like a psychic connection, and as they got older, they could then read other people's minds. And very, very creepy movie, very creepy book. But it's very this. Whenever I'm reading anything about these black-eyed children, that rings that bell, and whenever that happens, there's two reasons. There's either that in 1950, when John Wyndham wrote the Midwich Cuckoos, there was already a folklore story floating about
Yeah.
weird coloured-eyed children, or John Wyndham was smoking too much weird stuff, wrote this story completely out of his top of his head, and that has settled in the minds of other people who have then created this folklore out of his story.
Yeah. Really.
But I can't find an original story anywhere to say which one of those things is true.
Yeah. Oh, this is a long one.
That's what she said.
I wish. You'd think, though, that after all the abductions over the years, that if aliens are duplicating people or converting themselves into bodies of children, that they'd be able to reproduce eyes, especially when they're a fundamental part of what makes us human.
True. I mean, that would be a case, I guess, of looking into the DNA construction of an eyeball. How difficult is it to recreate an eye? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Is it easy to create skin and hair follicles as it is to create an eyeball that's attached to the brainstem? DNA speaking, I have no knowledge of this, so I don't know.
No, I mean, who knows? And hallucinations could very well be hallucinations.
I'm always wary of hallucinations, just because so many people have the same one. I get it if a random person sees spiders crawling across the ceiling, or a half-dressed Christmas tree tracing them down the street. But for a lot of different people to see the same thing at different times makes me wary of the hallucination label. So yeah, probably where Joss Whedon.
I do apologise. Hold on, my mother has come in to interrupt. 2 secs, guys. I'm really sorry.
Sounds like an episode of Angel, and probably where Joss Whedon got the idea from. Probably. I mean, all of these things, Angel, Buffy, Supernatural, they're all based in folklore fact. So they could very easily. They don't make any of these things up. There's nothing in Buffy or Supernatural or Angel that isn't a folklore fact somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's folklore fact with all that.
Yeah, it's all based in folklore fact. Whether it's real fact is another question altogether. But it's all folklore.
I mean, we'll never know. It's like it's no different. Yeah, it's no different with anything. Fairies, the Loch Ness monster.
I mean, that's why we're here. We're going to try and
real evidence, hard evidence of it.
Unless, if I do manage to get down to Cannock Chase in the next few days, and the black-eyed child is stood right in front of me, I might get a few seconds of filming it before I run away screaming. Maybe. Oh, have we lost Laura? I think we have. She's frozen. Oh, it's just me by myself. But yeah, we have. There we go. The black-eyed children. What do you think? Are they a thing? Are they the same thing that we've got here as they've got in America, even though they behave very, very differently? Are they aliens? Are they supernatural? Are they ghosts? What do you think? There's not that much evidence other than anecdotal. There are no real videos. There's no real photos or anything. What that chap did, we posted his video earlier. The reason why everyone jumped on it so much and was so willing to believe it and so wanting to believe it is that he was proposing to have proof of something that we only had stories about, and we had no we had no proof. And so we were so, as a community, the fact that this guy seemingly had proof at last, we were willing to jump all over it. Luckily, there were some people out there who realized that it was a little bit too good to be true, dug into it and found out the truth. And I hope that with everything to do with the paranormal and all these people and how easy it is to fake evidence nowadays, I hope that there are always going to be vigilant people out there that can wheedle out the fakers from the good guys and the natural. But it's so difficult. What about the possibility that they can be shadow people that can manifest in the physical? Again, it could be. We did do a talk on the shadow people a few months ago. The shadow people and shadow man is something that I am massively interested in. And I've done a lot of research in. I actually saw the shadow hat man when I was about 6 or 7 years old. And that was one of my first paranormal experiences. So yeah, possibly the shadow people manifesting themselves. I mean, you've got things like supernatural, actually quite a few of these supernatural based TV programs, whenever they're being possessed, their eyes go black. So I mean, it could be a case of possession, maybe. Simon, a very good book, highly recommend it. Thank you very much, Simon. Little plug. Do you think they could be individuals with really pupils? Maybe why they are seen during the evening, accompanied with peculiar. I mean, maybe it could actually be a physical, problem, a disease that they have, possibly. But I mean, black-eyed is not just that their cornea is black and the color of their eye is black. It's their whole. They haven't got any of the white. It's the whole thing is black. Oh, which is just gives me the creeps. Are you back with us?
I'm back. I'm so sorry.
Technical issues are allowed. I think I just blabbed a bit. I plugged my book a bit, so we're all good.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. This is what happens. I'm at my parents' place and their internet is to say the least. So I'm sorry. But I'm back.
Simon's asking whether the black-eyed children knocked.
Oh jeez.
Don't answer the door.
Not having a good day today.
My kids, my youngest daughter is 10. And she has now made friends with lots of the local kids around here. And they do knock the door quite often for her to come out and play. And all they do is just knock the door and then just step back a little bit because I think they're a bit scared of talking to the adults. So now I'm just going to get paranoid every time I see a child through the window of the door.
Especially with a hood on.
Don't answer that. Sorry?
Don't wait. Especially if they've got the hood on. No. Kerry, but I'm wondering if this was elaborated over the years. Well, yeah, that's like with most stories though that get elaborated. It gets, a bit like Chinese whispers. It starts as one thing, and then by the end of it, it's a completely different story, to what it originally was. So, yeah, I reckon because it's elaborated.
Sorry, I'm having a dig at Qui-Gon Down River's little statement there. As long as no banjo's playing, you should be safe. And ding, 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 ding.
Oh, I've got that song in my head now.
Sorry.
No.
Anyway.
Always go way off subject. Wouldn't be our show if we didn't.
It would not. We do have a few other topics coming up we've been sorting out.
Yes, that you talked about doing, and I'm definitely up for doing the couple of things that you mentioned earlier. I'm up for it. Can't wait. It sounds really interesting what we're going to do.
We'll just turn that into a voice clip. That sounds so dodgy. Yeah,
it did actually. Think about it.
But yes,
Oh.
we have a few interesting topics coming up for you guys. We're investigating into, and hopefully now that the world has opened up a little bit, and I'll have my car back eventually,
Yeah,
we can get some actually, footage out and about.
yeah. Which is
Um,
exciting. I mean, we've got exciting stiff. We've got exciting stuff
we know
coming.
where your
Oh, do
brain
you know what? Oh, I'm not. I mean, my brain is dead today. I can't think of words, and it's terrible. But yeah, I remember Kerry said New Orleans. That was a place I wanted to go. That's my dream place to go. New Orleans,
New
ultimate
Orleans.
place to go. That was what I was thinking of. But obviously, things that I'm thinking of, I can't get out in words. It's just not happening today.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're allowed a blonde moment every now and again.
Oh, Jesus.
But yes, we do have a few things coming on, and there's if you are new to our group, there's lots of things happening on TikTok. There's lots of stuff happening over on YouTube. So track us down, find us, have a look.
Yes, Instagram, we're everywhere. We're getting about.
We are getting about.
We are getting about. And obviously, we're now, like I said, the world's opening up. We're now going on investigations. We've got stuff coming up that lined up that you'll be able to see.
We're
Yeah, we've got exciting stuff ahead.
Yeah,
Really
we are
looking
getting
forward to it.
stuff happening. So
So-
yeah, you know what to do. If you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe, all that jazz. We want to get lots and lots of subscribers. The more subscribers that we have to YouTube and TikTok and all the rest of it, the more stuff we can bring you, because it opens it up for us. The more
Yes.
subscribers we've got, the more things they let us do, the more lives we can do. So when we go visiting spaces, we can take you with us.
Yes, especially on YouTube. We need to get over 1,000 subscribers. So we're getting there. 921, guys. So if you can help us get to that 1,000, when we get there, like I said, we can bring you along on investigations. If we can just get to the 1,000 mark, it opens a lot of doors for us. So please, if you have not, please subscribe to our channel.
Share it with your friends.
Yeah, get it back. I even got my 12-year-old nephew to subscribe today. Come on, son.
Don't let him watch any of the stuff. Poor guy will never sleep.
He's using it now. He's watching it downstairs because me being the donut, I've done this through Facebook, which was not intended. It's why I should not be in charge of technology. I don't know why people let me do it. So yeah, I've done this wrong by doing it through Facebook. But you know, you learn.
You learn.
Well, I don't. Other people learn. I don't. I just carry on.
But we love you anyway. It's all right.
But yeah,
So,
we want to say thank you to everybody that's joined today. If you're watching later, in the morning, evening, lunchtime, if you like this, watch it. Then yeah, please like, subscribe. You'll find us on TikTok, Instagram. You'll find us here on YouTube. You'll find us on Facebook. So yeah,
absolutely. Join our Facebook group, because if you join our Facebook group, we always put the links to everything else that we're doing, so you won't miss anything. So most Thursdays we have one of these going on with either myself and Laura or some of the other girls in the group, talking about all sorts of different things, and we let you know on Facebook what that is and when. We've got TikToks going out. We've got the lovely Jessie that does her TikToks on all things very strange and weird. Beautiful lady with a wonderful voice, and it's wonderful to listen to. But we'll let you know when they all get released. And yeah, so go find us on Facebook. It's Equilibrium Collective.
Yes. So yeah, thank you for joining, guys. We're going to say goodnight, and we'll see you next week. We're not sure what's going to happen, so stay tuned. If you're on Facebook, you'll be able to see the next event that will be coming up next week. So thank you, guys. Good night. Stay safe, and we shall see you later.
Answer the door if children knock.
Yes, leave them alone. Good night, guys. Thank you very much.